I can tell you that I had yet another opportunity to meet some great students from SFC. 2 of them graduated, 1 of them's a senior, but the future is bright for all of them. Well, you should really be proud of the community that you have here, and I'm so happy to be a part of it, even in a small way. And also, let me tell you, I had the pleasure of sitting at table 6. Shh. No, I got good stuff, really. No. With my longtime friend, Frank DeRosa, who I knew for years. You guys know Frank. Frank used to be in the communications office for the Diocese of Brooklyn. Frank was the guy the reporters went to. Nobody likes reporters, first of all. Let me tell you that. Nobody likes the media, but Frank was always gracious to us. Frank, would you stand up just because you look great, man? And Frank and I have the same hairstylist, and he's here with his wife, Lillianne. Lily, thank you so much. But also, again, I choose to MC events because I want to support, but I also want to learn. And this gives me such a glimpse into the SFC community. Also at table 6, I met these gentlemen who say they met freshman year and their bond is as tight as ever. I can't remember their names, but all of you stand up for the young students to see. Please stand up, gentlemen. Stand up, because I want the young students to see that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. They met freshman year in 1842, and 300 years later, they are still 1843. No, but I mean, that's important. I mean, we had a joking moment earlier about UConn, and I did go to UConn, and yes, I have some friendships, but UConn was a big school and it was a state school. I mean, there's something about community that will sustain you, sustains them. 2 of the students that I met, they graduated together. They're now working together at the New York Roadrunners Club. So this is a real community here. And I hope you all know it, but I want you to be sure that you're acknowledged for it. All right, now I'm gonna shut up and go on with the program, which is what you really want me to do. We hope you enjoyed your dinner. This is Thomas Flood's writing. It's fun to see who's outbidding who wants what and who won some of the great prizes. Now, congratulations to all the winners who participated. All the auction items can be paid for and picked up at the registration desk in the foyer at the end of the program. Let me repeat, at the end of the program. For those who did not win, there's going to be another opportunity to take something home. There's a surprise to be announced later. But now, I want you to direct your attention to the screens.
Breaking news to report now at St. Francis College. We have just learned that 2 legends are being honored right now at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. First up is Tom Brokaw, longtime host of the NBC Nightly News and the author of The Greatest Generation, followed by Kenneth Daly, a St. Francis grad who has worked his way up to President of National Grid, New York. We go now live to SFC's Michael Garay for more on Tom Brokaw.
Thanks, Phil. Tom Brokaw is one of the most widely known news reporter and anchor of all time, and he spent his entire career with NBC News. Brokaw started out in Los Angeles in 1966.
This is Tom Brokaw reporting.
Brokaw covered Ronald Reagan's first run for public office, the rise of the 60s counterculture, the assassination of Bobby Kennedy, and the 1968 presidential campaign. His next step was in Washington as the White House correspondent during Watergate and backing up John Chancellor as anchor of NBC Nightly News. After that, Mr. Brokaw hosted the Today Show before becoming full-time anchor and managing editor of NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. In 1998, Brokaw published his first book, The Greatest Generation, one of the most popular nonfiction books of the 20th century. He followed that with 5 other books, including Boom, Voices of the 60s, and most recently, The Time of Our Lives. Brokaw has won every major award in his craft, including Peabody, DuPont's, Emmys, and Lifetime Achievement Recognition. We are truly fortunate to have someone who has accomplished so much right here supporting St. Francis College. Back to you, Phil.
Thanks, Michael. He was an English major at St. Francis and now runs a major energy corporation back in Brooklyn. Miranda Palyevich tells us about Ken Daly. Miranda?
Thanks, Phil. Ken Daly is a real success story for St. Francis College. He graduated with an English degree in 1988 and rose up the ranks to become president of the New York business of National Grid. He oversees a company that provides energy for about 4 million customers in Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Long Island, and upstate New York. Mr. Daly first joined National Grid as a management trainee in 1988. The company was then Brooklyn Union Gas, later becoming Keyspan before most recently becoming National Grid. Mr. Daly earned an MBA in finance from St. John's University and an MS in human resource management from NYU. He is a former member of the Junior Achievement Board of Directors and United Way campaign co-chair.
And tonight we're going to give a check for $500,000 to some of the customers in Coney Island.
Through it all, Mr. Daly has never forgotten about St. Francis College. He has helped students gain internships and scholarships, been a mentor to many, and taught as an adjunct professor for 20 years. Mr. Daly is also now a member of the Board of Trustees. Tonight's honor is well deserved by one of St. Francis's favorite sons. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you, Miranda. We are hearing now that the Charter Award dinner is underway and that both Mr. Brokaw and Mr. Daly are there. The reason? To help raise money for scholarships so that students like these can afford a quality private education. I'm told some of those students are also now at the Marriott and they wanted to say thanks.
Thank you, Phil. It's so good to be a part of a broadcast with all the young people who will replace me within a year. Thank you. Good to meet you all. I am here on the floor of the Marriott Marquis with this breaking news story, and I'm standing here with Danielle Patino, class of 2016. Danielle, tell me about St. Francis College and tell me what it's meant to you and your education.
Well, I have a real love for St. Francis College. They've provided me so far with so many opportunities where I can meet people that will help me later on. We're definitely a close-knit community, and it's almost like a second family. I am a sophomore, and my major is English, just like Ken Daly's was. I am the vice president of the St. Francis Troopers, which is a theater organization within the school and part of the honors program. One of my big dreams is to become a professor, so I want to be the first person in my family to obtain a PhD as well as a writer. And my biggest inspiration is my mom, who is currently writing a book about her year with breast cancer. It's called On the Wings of an Angel, and I'm editing that for her. So St. Francis has definitely helped me to meet the right people, and I thank you for that.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. Good. Daniela Patino, thank you so much. Congratulations. Where do you find the time, by the way, to do all that?
Well, I mean, it's college, so coffee helps.
Fair enough. Another round of coffee here, please, on me. Thank you, Daniela. Congratulations to you. All right, great. All right, I'm going to pretend to be Oprah and make my way through. You guys remember Oprah, right? Or no, whatever. Oh, Phil. Hi, Phil. Yeah, this was called an ad lib.
I'm doing good.
You got a good lobbying team right here.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Phil. All right, we'll get back to Phil. But in the meantime, here I am with Phoebe Lee. Hello, Phoebe. Phoebe Lee is a member of the class of 2016. What type of opportunities has St. Francis given you, Phoebe?
I love St. Francis. St. Francis provided me a full endowed scholarship to complete my education. I met many knowledgeable and supportive professors. I know some of them are here today, Dr. Noguera, Dr. Horlick, thank you so much. And which led me to an internship at National Grid. And I've never met Ken Daly in person, so I'm really excited to see you tonight.
Ken Daly, stand up. Anyway, listen, what are you studying?
I'm double majoring in accounting and IT.
Double majoring in accounting and IT. Oh, excellent. Okay, good. So I have an accountant named Irving J. Shyster. Do you think that perhaps you could help me out? Because I think Irving has been kind of skimming some funds.
Maybe when...
You graduate?
Yeah, when I become a CPA, which is my dream as a professional. I would like to become a CPA in the future and work for one of the big four accounting firms.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. My accountant had me investing in an all-night bar at a Mormon temple. I didn't understand what. All right, back to you, Thomas.
Flash flood back to the microphone. Thank you, Daniela, Phoebe, and Oliver. You embody the Franciscan spirit that is ever present on campus. And in the spirit of thanks, each of the students who are here tonight, who are volunteering to make this event a huge success, would like to personally show their appreciation to you, our generous benefactors. There's nothing like two powerful words, thank you with a firm handshake. So we ask the students, they want to thank you personally, and on behalf of the students, we thank you for being dream makers to our college, to our students, to our world. Go ahead, students, express your gratitude.
Again, we'll ask you to focus your attention to the main stage after what was an extraordinary display of the greatness of St. Francis. Shh. Obviously, the difference you make is evident in the students who produced the breaking news video. I met most of those students, journalism, comp sci, excellent job. They're all scattered around. They were profiled in my on-the-street interview and those walking around the room. The good news, this is a small representation of the thousands of lives that you change through the gift of education at St. Francis College, each and every day. On behalf of the college community, let me convey my sincerest thanks. And now we have the moment we've been waiting for, time to celebrate our guests of honor. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Francis J. Green, professor in the Department of Foreign Languages, Fine Arts, and International Cultural Studies. At the end of this semester, he will complete 46 years of service in Brooklyn Heights. He, as well as Dr. Horlick, will introduce Ken Daly. They're truly members of the college's greatest generation. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Green.
In preparing these remarks about Tom Brokaw, I had the feeling that I had known him most of my life. This sense of familiarity is easily explained. For most of my adult life, and for the majority of the years that I have taught at St. Francis College, Tom Brokaw has come into my home, usually 5 nights a week at 7 p.m., as I watched him regularly on the NBC Nightly News. Some of us here tonight can remember a time, actually not that long ago, before mobile devices, before laptops, before desktops, yes, before the internet, and even before extensive cable access, when other than reading the morning papers of one's choice, one tuned in to the national news at 7 p.m. every weekday evening in order to learn what had transpired during the day and to receive in-depth analysis on some of the morning stories in print. New York had even then 6 channels with the evening news, 5, 9, and 11, and in particular CBS, NBC, and ABC. All of them had very good news departments and excellent anchors and reporters. But I instinctively tuned into Channel 4, NBC News, evening after evening, because Tom Brokaw presented the news in a concise, precise, no-nonsense way, offering as well penetrating, in-depth analysis of stories of the more serious events and issues of the day. There was never a hint of what came to be for some news as entertainment, never. Each evening for decades, I came away from that half hour with a better sense of the day's events, and it prepared me for next morning reading of the newspapers. Suffice it to say, when the arrival came of all those aforementioned new technologies, nothing changed in terms of what Tom Brokaw continued to offer to his listeners. In fact, with the proliferation of other options for staying informed, Tom Brokaw's brand of news journalism appealed and attracted even more. I then came to know Mr. Brokaw in another capacity as a first-rate author, particularly in reading his book, The Greatest Generation. There he studied and analyzed and celebrated the lives and contributions of an entire generation of Americans, those who served the United States in World War II, and not only them, but all those Americans who supported them and who also lived through those years, whether in a supportive capacity or as a family member or friend. Our nation had always been grateful to this generation, but somehow, and certainly without any bad intent, they had been neglected and underserved in many ways, especially our veterans. Tom Brokaw's book brought to life and to our nation's attention an entire generation in the 20th century history of our country. But he also brought before our collective eyes, the lives, the service, the valor, and the heroism of our veterans. His book was literally transformative and impelled me to read still others that were to follow. No wonder that I feel that I have known Tom Brokaw for many years. Finally, in preparing these remarks, it has occurred to me, as well it should have before this, that Tom Brokaw embodies in his personal and professional life the Franciscan ideal that I and my colleagues hold up before our students as they prepare for their careers and for their personal and social lives. In short, Tom Brokaw embodies the professionalism, the conscientiousness, scholarship, and commitment to public service that I have tried to suggest to our students that they must be the hallmarks of a well-lived life. Tom Brokaw embodies these ideals and models them for our students and for all of us as well to emulate. For all the foregoing reasons, St. Francis College will be pleased and proud to confer upon Mr. Tom Brokaw the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Obviously well said, Dr. Green. Tom's encouragement, counsel, and support of United States veterans and their families has been invaluable. He's a passionate advocate for those who've served and sacrificed for our nation. Tom would be pleased to know that St. Francis College is proud to be a yellow ribbon program school helping veterans return, learn, and earn. So, we have before us several members of the college community who have served our country to serve as Tom's proxy representatives tonight. Please join me in welcoming Clifford B. Redden, class of 1969, United States Army. Wayne Wisniewski, brother of Robert, class of 1987, and father of Michael. Father of Michael, class of 2015, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, joining our veterans tonight, Dr. Michelle Hirsch, Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs. She's leading the charge, yes. She's leading the charge to ensure veterans at the college and their families receive the guidance and support to help them transition from service to being served in the classroom and growing their careers. We're going to ask all veterans in the audience now to stand and be recognized. Oh, give me the picture, sorry. Do I get to keep this? Ladies and gentlemen, I have some remarks from Tom Brokaw. He says, "I'm sorry I cannot be with you tonight, but over the weekend I was struck with the devil flu going around. You have every reason to be proud of St. Francis, one of America's premier small institutions in the middle of the hottest borough in the country. Growing up in South Dakota, I was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan, and in the summer of 1957, I made a pilgrimage to Ebbets Field. I've never forgotten that night. I should have just skipped the ride back into the city, walked over to the campus, and enrolled. Who knows, with a St. Francis degree, I might have amounted to something." The words of Tom Brokaw. One of our colleagues from NBC News who was unable to join us tonight has sent Tom a special message. Please turn your attention to the video screens.
What is there left to say about the man to whom I owe much of what I enjoy today, along with countless others, except to say about St. Francis, about the Charter Award, you have impeccable taste in honorees. And to you, Tom, my friend, congratulations.
I'm telling you, you guys have some juice. He doesn't do that for everybody, I'm telling you. Flash flood, man, you're bringing it, buddy. Okay. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Jeffrey Horlick, longtime professor at St. Francis College in the Department of Accounting and Business Law. Professor, I have this accountant, Irving J. Shyster, and I'm sorry. And I did that joke already. Anyway, the current program director of the Masters of Science in Accounting, Dr. Horlick.
Thank you all very much. It is my distinct pleasure this evening to introduce Ken Daly. You will learn why St. Francis College is honoring him tonight. A distinguished alumnus of the college, Ken is the embodiment of our motto, the small college of big dreams. Ken is a Brooklyn native. Like so many others who attend college, he comes from a working class family, followed after his sisters to attend college for the first of his generation. A 1988 graduate with a major in English, his solid liberal arts education provided him with the abilities and skills, along with his friendly disposition and personality, to enter the management training program at Brooklyn Union Gas Company. While there, he earned an MBA degree in finance, an MS degree in human resource management, and he became a chartered financial analyst, another St. Francis College connection, since one of our senior professors, also an alumnus of St. Francis College, Professor John McCabe, was a founding governor of the CFA Institute. Never content to rest on his laurels, Ken is always striving to learn more and to use his many talents to be helpful to other worthy organizations. Happily, and lucky for us, Ken's loyalties have always brought him back to St. Francis College. He taught here as an adjunct for many years, providing students with his knowledge and guidance, and now he is serving on the college's Board of Trustees, once again providing his knowledge and guidance in a different form. Ken is not only dedicated to his professional life. I am told that he can regularly be seen running on the beach at Breezy Point, and of course he is devoted to his wife and 4 children. On a personal note, as the former chair of the Department of Accounting and professor at St. Francis College for 34 years, I praise him for his commitment and dedication to the internship scholarship program for accounting majors started in 2006 by a former colleague, Jared Luderman. As president of the New York Business of National Grid, Ken has been instrumental in expanding the internship program, for which we and our students are very appreciative. In the past 8 years, National Grid has provided opportunities for about 20 of our students. These internships have led some of our students to permanent employment with National Grid, but more often to employment with Big Four accounting firms and other financial sector employers. Some of our alumni shared with me that what Ken means to them. The first was Chris Long, class of 1999, who praises Ken for bringing his real-world experience into the classroom and sharing his professional knowledge of a large corporate institution with his students. Chris wanted us to know how valuable Ken's teaching was in preparing him for his own professional endeavors. Also, Lorraine Lynch, St. Francis College class of 1991, and a current colleague of Ken's, shared the following. She says, "I am one of the many St. Francis College students who received an opportunity through an internship at Brooklyn Union Gas. 20 plus years later, I am still at National Grid and still very connected to the college. Ken truly believes in giving back. His commitment to the students at St. Francis College echoes throughout the halls of National Grid, as we are currently preparing to add 3 more students to the internship scholarship program. They will be selected within the next week. Ken has made an impact on the lives of so many students. His actions remind me how important it is to give of your time, since giving back is not just about writing a check. I am very happy to introduce to you an educator, a leader, a loyal alumnus, my colleague and friend, Ken Daly, St. Francis College, class of 1988. Well, Ken, it must be noted that your fellow trustees know how to pull off a surprise. At a recent meeting, all of them voted to bestow a great honor on you tonight for everything you have done for our students, continue to do, and will do in the future for the St. Francis community. The college is pleased and proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. Congratulations.
Well, good evening, and thank you, Dr. Horlick, Chairman Tully, President Dugan, my good friend Tom Flood, who I've known for 30 years, and actually my first professor, Dr. Green, who I took as a freshman back in 1984. I think I still owe you my art term paper, and it sounds like he's waited 46 years, and I promised to submit it. But you know, what a special place this has been for me. I've essentially been in the classroom as a student, and as you heard, as a professor, and most importantly, perhaps as an employer now for 30 years. And St. Francis is a special place for me, and tonight is a very, very special honor. And it's particularly humbling to share the honor with Tom Brokaw. And unfortunately, Tom couldn't be here because of his health, but when I read his book, you know, what I learned about Tom is that we share 2 things. One is we're both beneficiaries of those who came before us, and we're committed to giving to those who now come after us. And at the same time, we're also products of great families, wonderful friends, and we've been blessed with outstanding careers. And for me, like Tom, it really starts with family, and it starts with my mom and dad. My dad was a retired New York City firefighter, a veteran of the Korean War, and a lifelong Brooklyn resident. My mom, meanwhile, stayed home and took good care of my 4 brothers and sisters. They're all here tonight with me, so thank you for joining us. My mom and dad really wanted to be here. They just couldn't travel up. I think they'll feel a little bit better when they hear that the Pope didn't make it, and they didn't miss. But I had a chance to go see them last week, and I took my 2 boys down to see them in Florida. And I asked for a little bit of advice, and you know, my dad, ever the fireman, said he recommends have a few beers before the speech to take the edge off, and I was true to that commitment. And my mom, and she called me during a cocktail hour, I swear to God, to remind me, she said, speak loud and clear and keep it short. And then she reminded me of why she was telling me to keep it short, an experience I had last year teaching my youngest son, Kenny, his kindergarten class. I went in to teach last year about energy, if you can imagine, at the age of 6. And I thought I did a great job. I had pictures, we talked about robots, you know. I was supposed to be there for a half hour, and it lasted an hour with questions, and the kids were so excited. And I really thought I was a hero. When I got home at night, I said to Lori, my wife, how did I do? And she said, Kenny's mad at you. I said, uh-oh. I said, Kenny, what's the matter? He goes, Dad, you were so long, our teacher wouldn't let us have recess. So I promise I'll keep it brief, but you know, I'm blessed now with a family of my own. 3 of my children are home tonight with the other grandma. Thank God for grandmas. But my oldest daughter, Kristen, is here with me tonight with her cousin. And then the real hero of the family, my wife, Lori, in the front row. I love you, sweetheart. You know, also blessed with great friends throughout my life, friends from St. Francis, friends from Resurrection. And believe it or not, I actually have the famous graduation class of 1972, Garrettson Beach kindergarten class, and many of my friends as a childhood. And then finally, in terms of my career, you know, it started as Brooklyn Union and then Keyspan, now National Grid. And it doesn't really matter what the name of the company's been. We've always had a great commitment to the community and to the college. Believe it or not, we have over 100 St. Francis graduates who work for the company or who've worked previously. And many of them are here tonight, and I thank them for joining me and for making this possible. So, you know, for me, it's been a great run. Thank you. Thank my colleagues. It's been a great run. I'll skip the next 25 years in the interest of time. And really, it's about giving back now. And tonight, you know, I'm honored to announce I'm going to start a new scholarship that I'm going to help fund, and I'm going to ask you to help join me in funding it. And I know St. Francis has said they will match it. And it's really to give some other student the same opportunity that I had, the same opportunity that many of you had. I still remember to this day when I received the scholarship. It was back 30 years ago as a high school senior, maybe to the day, and I was actually playing sports up the park with my friends, and it was before cell phones, and my mom actually ran up to the park, and she said, someone by the name of Brother George is on the phone, and he's got a scholarship. You got to get right down there. And, you know, what did we do? We took a trip down to St. Francis, and, you know, long story short, here I am today. So I'd like to create another scholarship now so other students have that same opportunity. Let me end with a quote, and the quote is called, "You can't go home again." And it's supposed to mean that when you leave a neighborhood or when you graduate a school, you need to move on and you can't go back. Well, tonight I'm here to say, if you never leave, if you're true to your school, if you're true to yourself, you very much can go home again. And tonight I'm very home here at St. Francis College. So thank you for this honor. I am humbled.
Should I photobomb it? Ken Daly, outstanding, thank you. Unfortunately, Ken, the next item on our program was recess, and now, since you, really? I mean, your daughter was here, she was like, do. I'm kidding. Those were eloquent words, and again, underscoring this community here that I'm just really humbled to witness and see. Ken, we asked you to stay around because as a token of appreciation, the very students that you employ as National Grid scholars and interns have a few gifts for you, sir. Tan Chung, James Toscano, and Phoebe Lee would like to present you with a custom-made, limited edition St. Francis College jacket. And, you know, look, it was sunny today, but the winter we've had, you may need it, buddy, okay? And knowing how much you love Brooklyn and the Brooklyn Dodgers, we hope you'll cherish this hand-signed framed photograph of one of Brooklyn's favorite sons, Hall of Famer Sandy Koufax. Flash flood always sees an opportunity, let me tell you. We have one more surprise. Ken, whether serving as president of National Grid New York or making a difference in the lives of students, you are a true Franciscan. And of course, this community thanks you for launching the second Kenneth D. Daly 88 Scholarship. As a gesture of the appreciation and to celebrate your commitment to scholarship, there's no more fitting tribute to celebrate your role as a leader, mentor, teacher, and as a Franciscan. Your scholarship ensures deserving students will receive support for generations to come, all right? I think I made a mistake in reading that, but I didn't go to St. Francis, did I? See? Now, as I know this is being recorded, and it'll be shared with Tom Brokaw, of course. Tom, we know you're a passionate advocate for our veteran community and their families. So tonight, St. Francis College has established the Tom Brokaw Veterans Scholarship. That's going to be awarded to student veterans like Oliver, whom we met, as well as students from military families. This scholarship is a tribute to your leadership and your excellence in the field of journalism, as well as your steadfast support of those who serve and preserve the freedoms of this great nation. This is your chance to act now and contribute to these newly created scholarship funds. With your support in a very Franciscan way, you're providing our students with the noblest gift in the world, the gift of education, a gift that makes a difference, a gift that changes lives, and we've seen evidence of that tonight. For all of you who have registered to bid in the auction already, check your phones. You should have just received a text message with a link to donate to either the Kenneth D. Daly 88 Scholarship Fund or the Tom Brokaw Veterans Scholarship. If you'd like to make a donation to one or both, just click the link in that text and enter your donation amount. No amount is too small, as you know. You can also raise your hand. One of our event team members will come to collect your donation, and donation cards are available at your tables. Every gift will be matched dollar for dollar up to $50,000. So we're asking you to be as generous as possible. The scoreboards on the screen next to the stage are going to provide real-time results and let us know how successful our scholarship efforts are. Anyone who makes a gift of $1,000 or more to either the Kenneth D. Daly 88 Scholarship or the Tom Brokaw Veterans Scholarship will receive a signed copy of The Greatest Generation. You have seen and heard from Daniela, from Phoebe, from Oliver. They were showcased this evening. You've also been thanked by the students here tonight. They are ever grateful for your investment in their dreams and futures. Please dig deep and give generously and just personally as I go off script, which annoys my producers every day. Just meeting your students and their enthusiasm was extraordinary. I MC a lot of events. I've been in this room so much that the staff at the Marriott Marquis, they know me by name. We hang out. I'm on their 401k here at the Marriott Marquis. But I can tell you that the enthusiasm of your students and this community really touches me and is extraordinary. Thank you again for championing our fundraising efforts and helping our students grow. We've honored two special individuals tonight. Truth be told, we've been celebrating you. For you are what you do professionally, what you represent. Personally, for the students of St. Francis, is amazing. The small college of big dreams is blessed to have champions like you in the audience. So on behalf of the college, as humble as I may be to dare to speak for St. Francis College, a poor, humble UConn grad who, never played in a Final Four, please accept our heartfelt thanks for making the gift of education a reality for students. Please join me, though, in giving a round of applause for those who worked hard for this evening. Our honorees, our board of trustees, the dinner committee, the teams from the offices of development, alumni relations, and special events, and all of the volunteers. Displayed on the screens are the winners of the silent auction. For the winners, there are checkout stations outside by registration. If you made a contribution to either scholarship fund, please visit the checkout station before you leave. Please hand your bidding device in before you leave this evening, and don't forget to see one of our students to receive your gift card to Grimaldi's, courtesy of Frank and Anita Chioli. Thank you, enjoy dessert, and thank you for letting me be here. Have a good night.